Anticipated 50% increase in civic engagement across 4 sectors by Q1 2027, a comprehensive overview. Introduction. As we advance towards 2027, there is a growing anticipation of a significant increase in civic engagement across 4 pivotal sectors: government, education, nonprofit, and technology. This report outlines the key initiatives, findings, and implications of this anticipated rise, particularly through the lens of the International Civic and Citizenship Education Study (ICCS). This study plays a critical role in shaping civic education and engagement strategies globally, aiming for a 50% increase in civic participation by the first quarter of 2027. The International Civic and Citizenship Education Study (ICCS). The ICCS, initiated in 2009, serves as a benchmark for understanding how young people are prepared for active citizenship in a rapidly evolving democratic landscape. The study has undergone multiple cycles, with the most recent ones occurring in 2016 and 2022, and the upcoming cycle set for 2027. Each cycle aims to assess not only civic knowledge but also attitudes and engagement levels among 8th grade students, thereby equipping them to navigate contemporary challenges effectively. Key findings from ICCS. 1. Civic Education Framework. The ICCS provides a robust framework for assessing students' understanding of civic concepts. It collects data on the organization and content of civic education curricula, teacher qualifications, and the broader educational environment. The 2027 cycle will transition to a fully digital assessment, reflecting the increasing importance of digital media in civic engagement. 2. Response to contemporary challenges. Each cycle of the ICCS has adapted to address pressing societal issues. The 2022 cycle notably examined the impacts of populist movements and climate change, aligning its objectives with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs), particularly Target 4.7, which promotes education for global citizenship and sustainability. 3. International collaboration. The ICCS is a collaborative initiative involving numerous international research centers, with the University of Bath leading the 2027 cycle. This collaboration enhances the reliability and comparability of data, aiding countries in formulating effective civic education policies. 4. Support from educational policies. Significant backing from the European Commission highlights the importance of civic education. The Commission has pledged to fund up to 75% of the international costs for participating Erasmus Plus countries, underscoring the initiative's relevance in achieving broader educational goals. Timeline of events. The following timeline illustrates critical milestones in the ICCS initiative leading up to the 2027 cycle. 2009 – Launch of ICCS focusing on civic education. 2016 – Second cycle expanding on initial findings and methodologies. 2022 – Third cycle, addressing contemporary challenges such as populism and climate change. 2024 – First meeting of National Research Coordinators (NRCs) for ICCS 2027. 2025 – Development of the framework and pilot studies for the upcoming assessment. 2026 – Conducting field trials across participating countries to refine the assessment tools. 2027 – Main survey data collection, with the release of the ICCS 2027 International Report anticipated to provide critical insights into civic engagement trends. 2028 – Public release of the ICCS 2027 International Database and User Guide, offering resources for further analysis. Anticipated outcomes of increased civic engagement. Government sector. The government sector is poised to benefit significantly from enhanced civic engagement. Increased participation is expected to lead to more responsive governance as citizens become more involved in decision-making processes. This engagement fosters transparency and accountability, essential components of a healthy democracy. Additionally, as young people become more informed about civic issues, there is potential for a more active electorate, leading to greater voter turnout and political participation. Education sector. The education sector will see the integration of civic education as a core component of curricula across various educational systems. The ICCS findings will guide educators in implementing effective teaching strategies that promote civic knowledge attitudes and engagement. This emphasis on civic education will not only prepare students to be informed citizens but also encourage them to take active roles in their communities, thereby fostering a culture of participation and social responsibility. Nonprofit sector. Nonprofit organizations will likely experience a surge in volunteerism and community involvement as civic engagement rises. Increased awareness of social issues and the importance of civic participation will drive individuals to contribute their time and resources to various causes. This heightened involvement will enhance the capacity of nonprofits to address societal challenges, ultimately leading to improved community outcomes and a stronger social fabric. Technology sector. In an increasingly digital world, the technology sector plays a critical role in facilitating civic engagement. The transition to a fully digital assessment in ICCS 2027 underscores the importance of digital platforms in promoting civic participation. Social media and online forums will become vital tools for civic engagement, allowing individuals to connect, share information, and mobilize for causes they care about. As technology evolves, it will continue to reshape how citizens engage with their governments and communities. Conclusion. The anticipated 50% increase in civic engagement across the government, education, nonprofit, and technology sectors by Q1 2027 is a promising outlook for the future of democracy and active citizenship. The ICCS initiative is pivotal in shaping this trajectory by providing comprehensive data and insights that inform educational policies and practices. As the world grapples with complex challenges, fostering civic engagement through education and collaboration will be essential for building resilient societies and promoting sustainable development. The concerted efforts across these sectors will not only enhance civic knowledge and participation but also contribute to a more informed and engaged citizenry, ultimately benefiting democracy as a whole. The anticipated 50% increase in civic engagement across the sectors of government, education, nonprofit, and technology by Q1 2027 is predicated on the findings and methodologies of the International Civic and Citizenship Education Study (ICCS). This increase may appear straightforward, but several counterintuitive aspects can be identified within the projected developments and the underlying data. 1. Digital engagement versus traditional methods. While there is a strong emphasis on digital media for enhancing civic engagement, the assumption that digital tools alone will lead to increased civic participation may not hold true across all demographics. For instance, younger generations are often seen as more engaged through social media, yet the ICCS findings suggest that traditional civic education remains crucial. The reliance on digital platforms can inadvertently alienate those who may lack access or familiarity with technology, potentially widening the engagement gap rather than bridging it. 2. Civic education's role in populist contexts. The ICCS 2022 cycle highlighted the challenges posed by rising populism and authoritarianism. It seems counterintuitive that an increase in civic education which aims to promote informed citizenship might coincide with a rise in populist sentiments. This suggests that while civic education is necessary for fostering informed public discourse, it does not automatically translate to a rejection of populist ideologies, which can thrive in environments of discontent and misinformation. 3. Global citizenship versus local engagement. The focus on global citizenship as part of the ICCS framework may lead to the ironic situation where individuals become more aware of global issues but less engaged in local civic matters. This could result in a dichotomy where students are educated on global challenges without a corresponding emphasis on local action, which is essential for fostering community-oriented engagement. This misalignment poses questions about the effectiveness of civic education in cultivating a balanced sense of responsibility. 4. Perceived importance versus actual engagement. There is often a gap between the perceived importance of civic engagement and the actual willingness to participate. The ICCS data may show an increase in awareness and knowledge about civic responsibilities. Yet this does not guarantee that students will engage actively in civic processes. The motivations for civic participation can be complex. Individuals may recognize its importance yet feel disillusioned or powerless to effect change, leading to a paradox where knowledge does not equate to action. 5. Educational policies and real-world impact. While the European Commission's support for ICCS and civic education initiatives is significant, the real-world application of these educational policies can be inconsistent. There may be a counterintuitive outcome where increased funding and support do not translate into effective teaching practices or improved outcomes in civic engagement among students. Variations in implementation across different educational systems can lead to disparities that undermine the overall objectives of the ICCS framework. 6. International collaboration and local relevance. The international collaboration involved in the ICCS initiative aims to standardize civic education assessments and methodologies. However, this may overlook the local contexts and cultural nuances that are critical for effective civic education. The assumption that a one-size-fits-all approach will be beneficial is counterintuitive, as civic engagement is deeply rooted in specific societal contexts that may not be adequately addressed through global standards. 7. Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs) as a double-edged sword. While aligning civic education with the UN's Sustainable Development Goals is intended to enhance relevance and urgency, it may also lead to a dilution of civic engagement efforts. The focus on broad global goals can lead educators to prioritize certain issues over others, potentially marginalizing local issues that are equally important for fostering community engagement. This could create a scenario where students are more knowledgeable about global issues but less equipped to address local civic challenges. In summary, while the ICCS initiative is poised to significantly boost civic engagement by 2027, several counterintuitive dynamics suggest that the relationship between education and engagement is complex. The interplay between digital and traditional methods, the challenges of populism, the balance between global and local citizenship, and the influences of policy and cultural contexts all contribute to a nuanced landscape that requires careful navigation to achieve the desired increase in civic participation. The anticipated 50% increase in civic engagement across the sectors of government, education, nonprofit, and technology by Q1 2027 is rooted in significant developments, particularly the International Civic and Citizenship Education Study (ICCS). While the broader trends and findings may seem straightforward, several nuanced aspects of the report are critical yet often overlooked. Digital assessment transition. One of the most significant elements of the ICCS 2027 cycle is its transition to a fully digital assessment. This development reflects a profound shift in how civic education is approached. Recognizing that today's youth consume information and engage in civic activities primarily through digital platforms. While many may note the convenience of digital assessments, the profound implications for educational methodology and civic engagement are often underestimated. Significance: this shift signifies a change in pedagogical practices, moving away from traditional paper-based assessments. It opens up new avenues for evaluating civic knowledge and engagement in contexts familiar to students, potentially increasing relevance and relatability. The digital format allows for scenario-based assessments that can mirror real-world engagement through social media and online activism, offering richer insights into students' capabilities and preparedness to engage as active citizens. Addressing emerging challenges. The ICCS has consistently adapted its focus to address contemporary societal challenges such as populism, authoritarianism, and climate change. While the mention of these issues might seem like standard fare in reports about civic education, the specific approaches and adaptations made by the ICCS are particularly noteworthy. Significance: the inclusion of these challenges in the framework not only reflects the ICCS's responsiveness to current global issues but also highlights the role of civic education in equipping students to navigate complex social landscapes. By embedding these topics into the curriculum, the ICCS emphasizes the necessity for students to develop critical thinking and problem-solving skills relevant to their world. This focus on contemporary issues is essential for fostering a generation of informed citizens capable of addressing pressing global challenges. International collaboration and data comparability. The ICCS is characterized by extensive international collaboration involving multiple research centers and countries. While many reports emphasize the importance of data, the specific mechanisms of collaboration and data comparability are often glossed over. Significance: the collaborative nature of the ICCS enhances the reliability and validity of the data collected. By pooling resources and expertise from diverse educational contexts, the ICCS provides a more comprehensive understanding of civic education globally. This collaboration is crucial for informing policy decisions that can be tailored to specific national contexts while still allowing for cross-country comparisons. The insights gained from comparative data can drive improvements in civic education policies, ensuring they are evidence-based and effective. Support from educational policies. The backing of the ICCS by the European Commission, which provides substantial funding for participating countries, is a critical detail that could be easily overlooked. This support signifies a broader recognition of the importance of civic education within the European educational framework. Significance: the funding indicates a commitment to integrating civic education into the European educational landscape, aligning with broader goals such as the UN's Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs). This support not only helps countries participate in ICCS but also fosters the development of comprehensive civic education policies that can lead to increased engagement across sectors. The financial backing underscores the idea that investing in civic education is seen as vital for sustainable development and democratic resilience. Longitudinal data and policy implications. The ICCS initiative provides longitudinal data across its cycles, which is a feature that deserves more attention. While many reports may highlight the findings from a single cycle, the ability to track changes over time is a powerful tool for policymakers. Significance: longitudinal data allows for the analysis of trends in civic knowledge, attitudes, and engagement, providing a clearer picture of how educational interventions impact civic outcomes. This data can inform future educational policies, enabling stakeholders to identify effective strategies in areas needing improvement. By recognizing the value of this data, policymakers can make informed decisions that enhance civic education and, by extension, civic engagement across various sectors. Regional modules and local relevance. The ICCS also includes regional modules that allow countries to explore specific topics of interest. While the overall framework is important, the local adaptations and relevance of these modules are often underappreciated. Significance: regional modules enable countries to address civic education in a context-sensitive manner, allowing for the incorporation of local issues and challenges into the curriculum. This localized approach ensures that civic education is not only relevant on a global scale but also resonates with the specific needs and concerns of individual communities. By tailoring civic education to local contexts, the ICCS fosters a more engaged and informed citizenry capable of addressing both local and global issues. Conclusion: the anticipated 50% increase in civic engagement by Q1 2027 is deeply intertwined with the ongoing work of the ICCS and its commitment to enhancing civic education globally. While broad trends and findings may capture initial attention, the nuanced aspects of digital assessment, responsiveness to contemporary challenges, international collaboration, policy support, longitudinal data, and regional relevance are critical components that warrant closer examination. Recognizing these elements not only enriches our understanding of the ICCS's impact but also highlights the essential role of civic education in fostering active, informed citizens in an increasingly complex world. 1. Civic Education Framework and Digital Transition. The International Civic and Citizenship Education Study (ICCS) serves as a foundational framework for enhancing civic education globally. The 2027 cycle marks a significant transition to a fully digital assessment reflecting the increasing relevance of digital media in civic engagement. This transformation is crucial for preparing students to navigate the complexities of contemporary citizenship where information is frequently consumed and shared through digital platforms. The ability to assess civic knowledge, attitudes, and engagement in a digital context enables a more accurate understanding of how well students are equipped for active participation in society. The shift to digital assessment not only modernizes the evaluation process but also aligns with the habits of young learners who are increasingly engaged in civic activities online. This development emphasizes the necessity of integrating digital literacy into civic education, which is vital for fostering informed and responsible citizenship in a rapidly evolving digital landscape. 2. Addressing contemporary societal challenges. Each cycle of the ICCS, particularly the 2022 iteration, has focused on pressing societal challenges such as the rise of populist movements, climate change, and authoritarian governance. By aligning its objectives with the UN's Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs), especially Target 4.7, ICCS seeks to ensure that civic education is relevant to the current global context. This proactive approach not only prepares young individuals to engage with contemporary issues but also encourages them to develop critical thinking and problem-solving skills necessary for tackling these challenges. The emphasis on addressing real-world issues through civic education underscores the importance of equipping students with the knowledge and skills required for informed civic participation. Engagement with these topics helps foster a sense of agency among students, empowering them to take active roles in their communities and contribute to societal change. 3. International collaboration and data reliability. The ICCS benefits from extensive international collaboration involving various research centers and educational systems across the globe. This cooperative effort enhances the reliability and comparability of data collected, allowing countries to analyze their civic education policies effectively. The coordination by the University of Bath and involvement of multiple national centers exemplifies a commitment to a standardized approach in assessing civic education outcomes. Such collaboration is essential for generating actionable insights that can inform educational policies and practices. By providing reliable data, ICCS enables countries to monitor their progress toward achieving educational objectives and to benchmark against international standards. This comparative analysis fosters a shared understanding of best practices and challenges in civic education, ultimately contributing to the enhancement of educational systems worldwide. 4. Support from educational policies and funding initiatives. The European Commission's substantial support for the ICCS initiative, including funding for participating countries, highlights the recognition of civic education as a critical component of broader educational agendas. By subsidizing costs for Erasmus Plus countries, the Commission reinforces the importance of civic education in achieving quality education for all and advancing sustainable development. This support not only facilitates participation in the ICCS but also emphasizes the integration of civic education into national and regional educational policies. The funding initiatives reflect a commitment to fostering active citizenship and promoting democratic values, ensuring that young people are adequately prepared to engage in civic life. Such backing is crucial for the sustainability of civic education programs, allowing for continuous improvement and adaptation to evolving societal needs. In conclusion, the anticipated 50% increase in civic engagement across government, education, nonprofit and technology sectors by Q1 2027 can be attributed to a robust framework provided by the ICCS, which emphasizes digital assessment, addresses contemporary societal challenges, fosters international collaboration, and benefits from significant policy support. These elements collectively enhance the capacity of educational systems to prepare young individuals for active, informed citizenship in an increasingly complex world. 1. the civil rights movement in the United States 1950s to 1960s, this pivotal era in American history saw a significant increase in civic engagement, particularly among African Americans and their allies, as they fought for equal rights and an end to racial segregation. The movement was characterized by mass protests, sit-ins and marches, most notably the March on Washington in 1963, where Martin Luther King Jr. delivered his famous "I Have a Dream" speech. The efforts of activists led to landmark legislation, including the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965, which significantly expanded civic participation and engagement in the political process. 2. The suffragette movement, late 19th to early 20th century. The fight for women's suffrage in various parts of the world, particularly in the United States and the United Kingdom, represents a significant historical case of increased civic engagement. Women organized rallies, protests, and civil disobedience campaigns to demand the right to vote. Key events included the 1913 Women's Suffrage Parade in Washington, D.C., and the hunger strikes carried out by suffragettes in British prisons. Their persistent activism culminated in the passage of the 19th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution in 1920 and the Representation of the People Act in the UK in 1918, which expanded voting rights and encouraged greater civic participation among women. 3. The Arab Spring 2010 to 2012, a series of anti-government protests and uprisings across the Arab world, marked a significant surge in civic engagement. Driven largely by young people seeking political reform and social justice. Countries like Tunisia, Egypt, and Libya witnessed mass demonstrations facilitated by social media platforms, which played a crucial role in organizing and spreading the message. The protests led to the toppling of several long-standing regimes, notably in Egypt, where President Hosni Mubarak resigned in 2011. Although the outcomes varied across the region, the Arab Spring highlighted the impact of civic engagement in shaping political landscapes and the importance of youth activism and advocating for democratic reforms. Future outlook: anticipated 50% increase in civic engagement across 4 sectors by Q1 2027. The projection of a 50% increase in civic engagement across the government, education, nonprofit, and technology sectors by the first quarter of 2027 is grounded in a confluence of trends, initiatives, and societal shifts. This analysis outlines the expected developments in each sector and the broader implications for civic engagement. Government sector: digital transformation and inclusivity. The transition to digital platforms in governmental operations is set to enhance citizen participation. E-governance initiatives will likely expand, making it easier for citizens to engage in decision-making processes through online platforms. The anticipated rise in digital literacy, coupled with initiatives like the ICCS 2027, will empower younger generations to actively participate in governance. Furthermore, policies aimed at inclusivity will ensure that marginalized communities have their voices heard, thereby increasing overall civic involvement. Engagement through policy innovations. Governments are expected to adopt more participatory policymaking approaches, such as citizen assemblies and deliberative democracy models. This shift aims to bridge the gap between citizens and policymakers, fostering a sense of ownership among citizens regarding public policies. The emphasis on transparency and accountability will likely motivate more individuals to engage in civic activities. Education sector: enhanced civic education. The ICCS 2027 studies focus on civic knowledge and digital engagement will lead to a significant overhaul of civic education curricula worldwide. Schools will increasingly integrate discussions on current events, global citizenship, and digital citizenship into their programs. This curricular shift is expected to cultivate a generation that is more informed and ready to engage in civic matters, thereby driving the anticipated increase in civic engagement. Collaborative learning environments. Educational institutions will focus on creating collaborative learning environments that encourage students to engage in community service and civic activities. Project-based learning centered around real-world problems will enhance students' understanding of civic responsibilities. Fostering a culture of active engagement. Nonprofit sector. Mobilization of grassroots movements. The nonprofit sector is poised for a surge in grassroots movements driven by social media and digital platforms. Organizations will leverage technology to mobilize communities, raise awareness, and advocate for social issues. This grassroots activism will likely attract a younger demographic, further contributing to the anticipated increase in civic engagement. Partnerships and collaboration. Increased collaboration between nonprofits, educational institutions, and government bodies will facilitate a holistic approach to civic engagement. By pooling resources and expertise, these entities can create impactful programs that resonate with diverse communities, promoting active participation in civic life. Technology sector. Innovations in civic tech. The technology sector will continue to innovate in civic technology, providing tools that enhance citizen engagement. Platforms that facilitate community discussions, feedback on policies, and participation in local governance will become more prevalent. The rise of blockchain technology for transparent voting processes and secure citizen engagement will further bolster public trust in civic participation. Data-driven engagement strategies. As organizations increasingly rely on data analytics, they will be better equipped to understand the needs and preferences of citizens. This data-driven approach will allow for the development of targeted engagement strategies that resonate with specific demographics, leading to higher participation rates. Broader implications. Increased awareness of global citizenship. The focus on global challenges such as climate change, social justice, and public health will heighten awareness of global citizenship among individuals. Educational initiatives like the ICCS will play a crucial role in equipping young people with the knowledge and skills necessary to engage in these pressing issues locally and globally. Strengthening democracy. The anticipated increase in civic engagement is expected to strengthen democratic processes by fostering a more informed and active citizenry. As more individuals participate in civic life, the demand for accountability and transparency in governance will grow, leading to more responsive and representative institutions. Challenges ahead. While the outlook is optimistic, challenges remain. Misinformation, digital divide issues, and potential backlash against civic engagement efforts could hinder progress. Therefore, continuous efforts to promote digital literacy and critical thinking will be essential in sustaining the momentum of civic engagement. Conclusion. The projected 50% increase in civic engagement across government, education, nonprofit, and technology sectors by Q1 2027 reflects a transformative period in how citizens interact with their communities and institutions. Initiatives like the ICCS, alongside advancements in technology and evolving educational frameworks, will play pivotal roles in fostering a more engaged and informed citizenry. As these trends unfold, the collective efforts of all sectors will be crucial in shaping a vibrant civic landscape that thrives on participation and collaboration.